In July I harvested a lot of strawberries out from the garden, and I washed them and took off the little flower, and I put them into bags and into the freezer so that I could make strawberry jam later, and that is now. So I took up all of the bags with strawberries and thawed them overnight, and now I'm ready to make the jam. And I'm putting all of the strawberries into this one pot, and I'm also getting all of the juices in there. And if you want to see the video where I harvested them and how I prepped them for the freezer, you can watch this link up in the corner. And now I'm turning on the stove, and I'm bringing all of the strawberries up to a boil. And now that it's all heated up, I'm going to mash it with a potato masher, just to break up all of the rest of the berries and to get all of the juices out. I'm putting in some citric acid, and it helps with the acidity and the flavor and the color, so that it's still bright in the red color. And now I'm splitting some vanilla beans, and I'm scraping out all of the insides and mashing it up with some erythritol, and then I'm also putting in the beans and letting them boil so that all of the flavor can get out into the jam. This is the brand of erythritol that I'm using right now, and I'm just pouring a little out onto the cutting board, and I'm mashing the vanilla beans into that just to separate all of the little seeds, so it won't clump up when it's going into the jam, so it will distribute all the way out into the jam. I'm also using this extra pectin to make sure that the jam won't get too runny. And I'm putting 4 bags into this little bowl, and I'm mixing some of the erythritol in with it, also just so that it won't clump up in the hot mixture. And I think I could have used one less package because it was quite thick when it was finished, but that's okay, and it won't run off a piece of bread when you're using it like that, so that's okay. And I'm just mixing it with the erythritol, and then I'm pouring it in. And when this is in the jam, it can only boil for a few minutes, or else it won't work. It won't set up right. And the reason I also have to use it is because I don't use any sugar in this jam, and I'm also not using that much of erythritol. There's about 6 kilos of strawberries, and I'm only using about 1 to 1.5 kilo of erythritol. And all of that of course dropped the temperature, so now I have to let it get up to a rolling boil, and that means that I can stir and stir, but it will still boil. So we're not quite there yet, but in a few minutes we are, and then I have to turn it off, and then I can put it into my jars. And you can water bath it for I think about 10 to 15 minutes. But this time I'm using something called atamone, and it's a preservative, so I don't have to water bath it. And sometimes it's a little easier for me to do it that way, and also because this jam is mostly for me, and I don't eat a whole glass or a whole jar of jam in 1 week or so, and I won't have that it will go bad. So now that we are almost there, I will pick up the vanilla beans, and then we are ready. And I have cleaned all of my little jars, and now I am putting it into them with my funnel. When I have filled a few jars, I will put on the lids and set them aside so that they can seal up. And they will do that just because of the heat from the jam, even though they are not water bath. And of course I'm cleaning the rims of the jars before I put on the lids, just to make sure that there's no sticky stuff on there that will prevent a good seal. And I ended up with 20 nice jars of strawberry jam, so I'm really happy about that. And this is all for this time, so I hope you enjoyed and that you want to subscribe and go and follow us on Instagram at Besters Farm Life. Bye bye!